Hello and welcome to the Two Men in Quarantine podcast. Today we have a special guest, professional white woman Morgo, with us today. Today we will be focusing on, come on, you know what we talk about today.
Talking about racism. We're talking about this goddamn country full of racists. That's what we're talking about, because that's what it's full of.
Come on, we can't avoid this topic. All right, so
no, we can't.
You seem very passionate about this. I'll let you start.
Sir, I'm a black student who studies public health. 1 second, I'm hearing about COVID. Next thing I know, black people are still hated in this country. So it's been a great few days for me, you know, and for everybody else, of course, because this is what we really needed right now. Because why have a pandemic when you can also add racial injustice and a possible war? Because
speaking about the pandemic, have
2020 was like, what else?
What else?
What else?
I'm not doing enough. Like, it's not enough. I need more.
More.
Speaking of the pandemic, can we pull up those numbers? Because I know those numbers have skyrocketed. They have to.
Oh.
Okay.
Shit.
The other thing though is if it takes 2 weeks to show up, Memorial Day too though.
What do you mean?
Oh yeah,
like
no, I've been
Day,
hearing about that. People have been saying that
has cookouts and stuff.
Ah. Okay.
They started reopening around Memorial Day, so all these spikes are honestly probably more from reopening than it is specifically just a protest.
I mean, I don't know what y'all have been seeing, but I've seen a lot of people been gathering around. That seems like a very possible reason for people to get COVID.
All I know is what?
I've been gathering.
She's been at the protest, contracting COVID.
I'm gonna share my screen so we can see the numbers as we requested, friends.
Wait,
there we go. Host disabled participant screen share.
Why does this always happen? Oh my fucking god! Give me a second. Oh my goodness.
Every single time.
Every single time.
You know what? Listen here. All right.
Oh, now we can do it. Oh my god, that's crazy.
I might hate you.
Here we go. We got ourselves the map of the good old United States of America.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's still mad. Oh my god.
I'm still mad? Sir, let me just tell you.
Sir.
You all know how my family moved here, right? I mean, okay, you too, right, Jermaine?
Yeah.
Okay, we're both immigrants from West Africa. We were told this is a land of opportunity. That, you know, people get what they get here. When we get here, the first thing we experience is, A, people don't want to give us those opportunities, and B, people don't think we deserve any opportunities. So if I was brought up here learning American law and history and politics, and for the majority of my young life, I actually believed in it, only to enter college where I was like, you know what, the white people who told me that shit don't even believe in it themselves, then what's the point? But let's talk about COVID.
We're not even 2 minutes in, bro, and there's so much anger.
Honestly, rightly so though.
Yeah.
But
actually, you understand what I'm saying?
Texas is what do you mean Texas isn't bad?
Look at the map. Go down.
What?
Is the purple
That's
bad?
Louisiana. Okay, there's Dallas.
I think the deeper red is the worst one, right? Houston looking
Dallas is looking bad, but Texas as a whole.
Okay.
Where's Houston though? It's not showing me Houston.
Nigga, did you go to the right? It's right there.
I see it there.
Look at that.
Oh,
beautiful. That good. What color is that? Salmon? Oh.
Salmon. Let's look at Omaha. Let's look at that. Look at that. Ooh, Omaha. Wow.
How are y'all bad? How?
Oh, really?
There's no one there, bro. There's no one there.
How is it bad there? I'll tell you how it's bad to me. It's called our good governor, Pete Ricketts. He looked at it and said, why test? Why be honest about numbers when you can just lie?
Same thing China said, bro.
So there's more cases than that?
I mean, it's just a higher density, more of, I would believe. Yes.
Jeez.
Yes.
Jeez. Let's look at Massachusetts now, right? Right?
Massachusetts is going to be hot.
Massachusetts is going to be hot. Ooh, look at that deep red state. That's the only time we'll ever see it be red.
That is
Most of the time it's
That is
blue.
everywhere. That is everywhere. There's not a single county.
Oh my god.
Not okay.
Bro.
Woo.
What y'all do?
Yeah,
Oh,
kill me.
protesting. But like, what the fuck are y'all doing?
Oh, my friend's going to Rhode Island. Maybe I should tell her that it's also red.
I think she
But
knows.
if you go to Martha's Vineyard, it's not because they're not letting people over there.
Well,
They're doing
here.
a good job, I guess.
Nope, that's not it.
That's Newport.
You know what, Shemay? I don't know the East Coast that well, all right? I'm the one controlling the map here, and I can't see where Martha's...
Oh, Martha's
Fourth.
Vineyard is that little, it's the little white blob
Vineyard.
down there.
Oh, here?
Yeah.
That's deep.
0?
Yeah.
What?
Damn,
How?
It's an island and
this is an island.
they can restrict access.
Wow, so they were smart. They were like,
Yeah, they're
why
like-
have people move here when you can just kick them out like we're supposed to?
Okay, this isn't a COVID day though. This is
Right.
a racism day. Let's talk about. I mean, but like obviously, like rates are skyrocketing. I would say because of protests as well. That's just me though. But like, but
Yeah, it's true. It's true. No, you're not wrong. It's true. It's all true.
there's a lot of talk of peaceful protests versus the violent protests. And I've heard like of course good arguments on both sides, but one of the most prevalent arguments like, oh, the only way to get your point across is through peaceful protests. And we've seen this in the past, of course, with Colin Kaepernick, the taking a knee, which did not go over well in the NFL. They're apologizing for it now, which is kind of crazy, honestly.
I was gonna say that's also the NFL. I feel so we need to also realize that like the response there would have been, I think, naturally more like aggressive towards it, because we gotta face the fact that the audience in the NFL is a lot more white males than it is any other sport. Soccer, basketball, like any other sport except hockey. I think hockey has like the highest concentration, but
I mean,
well, like, if we-
it's hockey. But come on. But like, okay, like I feel like we've been doing peaceful protests for a while now.
we've been doing it for a long time, bro.
Yeah, I just feel like we gotta match energy. Like what we saw on camera, the way George Floyd died was just not acceptable, and I feel like the response should be violent protests. In my opinion, I just feel like that just makes a lot more sense to me, or at least start with it, and then like maybe try peaceful protests later. But like, I would be mad if I wasn't limping around. I'd be out there, bro. Like I would be in the front lines, my G's. Like, nah, but like it's not. It's just unacceptable at this point. And I like it. I like that so many people are now realizing how serious this is. One random fact, like Call of Duty, the game known for violence and shooting, went out here and was like putting up like Black Lives Matter, like putting up quotes and like saying how much they care about the Black community. And that's every day I hop out with the squad, I see that, and I'm like, yo, this is great. This is fantastic. I love this game like 10 times more now. Like, even though I'm going to be toxic as hell in this game. Like, I love this game 10 times.
Actually, Shimon, I was going to say something I've always been thinking about ever since this started, right? In relation to Call of Duty. Let's take a U.S. soldier, okay? Let's take a U.S. soldier. If that soldier were to kill enemy civilians, civilians of an enemy country,
Yeah.
he'd be hit with a war crime and court-martialed.
No, you wouldn't.
If a doctor maltreats his patient, so if a doctor mistreats his or her patient, right?
Mm-hmm.
They lose their license and their job right away. So how is it that an American policeman can literally kill American civilians and not get charged or fired, or even like there's no type of punishment against that? Like, just remember, a soldier kills enemy civilians and he's seen as a monster. But a policeman here kills his own citizens, and it's all okay.
Okay, wait, hold on. To that soldier point, if a soldier kills a civilian on the other side, that's only seen as a war crime if the goal is to win the country's heart. Like, as in, like, in Iraq, the mission then became, like, at first it was just like, oh, whoever you see, like, take them out at all costs. Like this is, like, to, like, be able to win. And then later on, they changed the the mission to be, oh, we're trying to now win the civilians' hearts.
Yeah.
You can't really win them if you kill them. So you gotta kind of like, then it becomes a crime to kill a civilian. But like, yeah.
No, but
cops do get like, it's the way the laws around cops are made so that they
have so many protections. That's the whole point. They have a lot of protections in general. Like, we don't even have to get into many of them. It's just, it makes no sense to me. I want to know how or why we can calmly, like, and the reason why I even, like, brought up the whole, like, soldier and doctor is that, like, I'm trying to also compare, like, here in this country, like, respectable professions, right?
Yeah.
Like, comparatively speaking, a police officer is seen as just as respectable as a doctor or soldier. Yet we're so much more punitive against same said doctor or soldier.
Yeah. Okay, Morgo. I feel like you haven't talked. I feel like you
need it. Sorry.
No, I mean, I guess the big thing from my side, like being from an all-white family, and my grandparents are very conservative, is basically
like that.
You get the whole side of people being like, well, I'm not saying racist things, so isn't that enough? But that's the whole point of why, like all these peaceful protests aren't working from the past, because people are trying to say like, this is an issue that we face, and just no one is helping. And we know that like Black people aren't listened to enough in government. So for people in my family to just be like, well, like I'm not doing anything wrong, so isn't that fine? I'm like, oh, it's hard.
I mean, like, people. It's not just you personally. Like, it's fine if you yourself, like, okay, this is why I believe, like, it's fine if you yourself know for whether you will never support. If you know there's someone who is like that, you should try to stop that as well. It's not just enough for you to be like, oh, I'm not racist, so like that's okay. But like, if you actively know that there are people even within your own family who still think like that and still talk like that, if you yourself are not a racist, you would at least try to stop that as well.
Everyone's a little bit racist. Come on now. Everybody's just a little bit racist.
I always say to myself, okay, this is a joke. No one get offended by this, please. But I always say to myself,
this is going on the internet forever. Before you say this joke, this is going to be on the internet forever. Like, you can, I won't take it down. Like, it's going to stay here. People might be able to come up from your past, and like once, like, you're gonna get into like this high position of power. Shit, like you might be like senator or some like of Omaha. Fuck it. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, not Omaha. Nebraska.
No, I refuse. I'm fine with being on the air.
You've already talked about making biological weapons in the past on this series.
Shit, you're right. You're right. Oh no.
Right now.
Oh no.
Trying on thin ice. Walking on thin ice. Nah, bro. I mean, you can go ahead and say the joke. I'm not gonna stop you.
Damn, now I don't really want to anymore.
I know, that's all I got.
I'm already deep water.
Saving your soul. Yeah.
You know what? It's fine. Shimei's point is slightly valid there.
Wow. Okay. Slightly. He didn't even want to give it to me. Okay. Another point that I've seen. There's been like talk of like as like when the protests first started, there was talk of like, I guess, undercover cops like going in, like ruining or starting the riots. And then like of course blaming it on the Black people. So, oh, look at these hooligans starting like looting shit. And it's like,
Trump, those thugs are gonna get shot. Okay, when the looting starts, the shooting starts, because that's what your president needs to say. That's what we need him to say.
Yeah,
guys.
and who was just charged? What's his name? Jake Paul.
Oh my God, this dummy, bro! Dummy, bro! I hate him, bro. Man's really out here. He had like well, okay, of course they said that he wasn't looting. Like in the video, like he himself wasn't looting, but there was a guy who went into a PF Chang's, stole a vodka bottle at good taste, first of all, and then like handed it to Jake Paul, and man's like willingly accepted it. Like, all right, thank you, bro, I appreciate that. So even if he wasn't doing it himself, like,
he encouraged it. He
encouraged it, participated, like with trespassing, like he was doing so many things. And then like you have his brother Logan Paul out here making the biggest flip and doing some great numbers. He's talking on his podcast, first of all, the Impulsive podcast, saying how wrong this is, like going like actually like saying some great things. And then like he says, I'm like there's a protest today and I'm gonna be like I'm gonna be on the front lines. The dude was on the front lines, like doing his thing. Like he
Actually, I like the quote that he said when he was like, he knows for that white privilege is because he knows like all the things that he does. He knows for that he will never get killed if someone calls the police on him. Like he has no fear of doing it because he knows he'll never get in trouble.
Yeah.
Like if Jermaine and I try to do the exact same things, bro, I already am scared just by me being me. I don't want to do the things that he does.
Remember that one day you were just like walking on campus, just yelling like obscenities, and I was low-key like worried. I was like, yo, you shouldn't be saying shit like that. Like relax, bro.
I was a loose cannon that night. I kind of just wanted to go off. Okay.
You're a loose cannon most nights, man. What?
But I wanted to say something about the violent protesting. For me, I personally understand why it happened or why people are willing to do it, but like for me, I can't personally be like, I think this is the way to go, because like I feel as if it's just like the saying goes, like, okay, two wrongs don't make a right. Like at the end of the day, if we answer violence with more violence, I don't think that's going to make them realize. I feel like honestly, and I've seen it amongst my friends, because okay, just like you, Morgan, my family's not white, but I'm surrounded by white friends and many conservative friends, so I know what they say, and I know that okay, some of the things they're saying is like, see, we're right. Like some of them are like, see, we're right. They are violent. And I'm like, that's what we don't want to happen. We don't want you to be scared of us. We just want you to see us as humans, right?
Yeah.
Like if you see me as a threat, then nothing has changed. If the change is made because you think I'm a threat, then nothing has actually changed.
I see it as simple as like a child wanting his like mother's attention. Like if I'm a kid, or when I was a kid, I would say, Ma, can we go to McDonald's? She'd be like, you got McDonald's money? I would be like, damn, I don't. But if I put up a fit, if I was like, Mama McDonald's, if I started crying, if I started throwing a fit, if I started like touching the steering wheel, she'd be like, all right, let's go to McDonald's. And like society can be like that too. Like just like throwing up for the fit, they're like, damn, fuck, all right, damn, we'll give you something. Like we'll listen to you. We'll like might like adjust to like what you're saying. We might listen or actually like.
Yeah, like I mean, at the end of the day, no matter what type of protest is, we need to realize that there's a change that needs to be made. Like the only way that we stop those same said violent thugs who are about to get shot, according to our president, from doing that is by actually making the change that they're calling for. Like, why did America become a country and also like fight against the British Empire, right? Because they wanted a change and they got it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Except that was organized and they actually had a plan. Bros, if we call this a revolution, I think we're low-key kidding ourselves, because all it is some dude throwing a brick into a store without realizing who owns that store, who might be hurt by throwing that brick into that store. Like, I'm not saying that okay, property is more important than lives, right? But like, I just feel like if you really want to do something, if you think a violent way is supposed to be needed, right, then it needs to be way more organized than just random riots started by a policeman. Really.
Yeah. I don't know. There's
But I'm not supporting it though. Do not take my words out of my mouth and say I've supported a revolution for no reason, please. I don't want this to go down.
Take it out of my wells. I support the revolution. Down with the government. I'll take the fall. Fuck it.
Like 20 years later, we're both like trying to like get into positions, and someone's like, Henry, Lawrence, Jermaine both said they wanted to take down the government. I'm like,
oh. So I said it. I'll stand with it. I don't care. 20 years later, I will say that. And Jermaine, in the future, don't you pussy out, bro. You got it, bro. You can do it.
I'm so scared for you, friend.
What do you guys think about, I keep seeing this on social media, like shadow banning and like basically platforms like Instagram and TikTok and all that will see the hashtags like Black Lives Matter and anything kind of related to those hashtags, and they'll kind of reduce the spread of that content.
I know TikTok was doing it. I didn't hear about Instagram.
I think Instagram's not as bad. I've heard it more with TikTok. I think Twitter's fine.
I heard that on TikTok.
Facebook's whack. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I don't think that's like I get it that like these platforms like are meant for like entertainment and they low-key want to like get away from like this whole controversy. Like most people just kind of like want it to be done. They're like, oh, like this is bad, but like can we please stop talking about it?
Bro, we're not gonna stop talking about it.
Of course not. This is not
the day we stop is the day you chose to just not change anything.
I keep hearing people being like, well, why can't we just move on from this?
Well, because we haven't though.
It's gonna happen again. That's the whole point.
If you move on, it's gonna keep happening. That's how history repeats itself.
Exactly, bro. Exactly.
America out here, like, you see, we gave them the right to vote, so like, now they won't die, right?
Bro, right to vote doesn't mean right to resist arrest, bro. Oh my God.
Guys are out here like, even resist authority, it's a sin.
I also don't like the sentiment of like, oh, all cops are bad. I'm just like, wait a minute. No. There are good homies out there. I've seen them. I've been stopped by a good cop, luckily. Like, man, I was going fucking 90 because your boy doesn't know how to go to speed limit. And he said, yo, your ticket's supposed to be like 200. So he was white with like a cool mustache. Like he literally looked like Colonel Sanders, like the greatest man I've ever seen in my life. But like, he says, your ticket should be like $275. I'm like, ooh, that's a lot. He says, wait, I can make it seem like you didn't have your seatbelt on. I'm like, how much is that? He said $95. I'm like, so we got a $95 ticket, bro. Let's fucking go. Like, coolest cop I ever seen, bro. Like,
Jermaine, in response to that, I think what people are actually trying to say, at least what I believe is trying to be said, is that we're not saying that like all cops are like bad people, right? I don't think that's what we're trying to say. We're saying that the system that they're trying to police, right, is inherently bad. It would be like saying that, for example, in Nazi Germany, if we took every single Nazi, of course not every single Nazi probably believed that Jews were, some did get killed.
I don't know about that one, Chief. I don't know about that one, Chief. I think they joined knowing that they hated the Jews, bro.
You're watching on the path towards saying not all Nazis are bad, and I don't know.
I'm not saying that. Okay, wait, no, let me explain. You guys just like, no, let me explain.
Abort.
I'm talking about Can I just explain my point? Please. It's always been a point that, like, there's some research done on it. It's not exactly proved, but the whole point is that not every single Nazi soldier, as in, like, lowest level, just grunt level, man, I'm sorry. Bro, can I explain before you start going in on me, okay? The whole point is the Nazi system was made to kill Jews, all right? And it was clear to be made with hate. But they also say it's possible that not every single soldier actually believed that, all right? And it's not as if, like, there's not stories. Some soldiers actually show that they were horrified about what's happening, okay? Some soldiers did do that. And I'm trying to say it's basically the same thing with cops. I'm not saying that, like, every single cop is out here just looking to kill a black man, all right? No. But at the same time, what they're working in, the system they're working in is inherently trying to do that, all right?
Yeah, but people join the system for very different reasons. There are people who go because they want to enforce the law the right way. They want to change the system. They want to try and, try and help a community. There's some good cops who actually try to help a community. And some people who, like, they resort to, like, their last thing is like, well, I mean, like, I don't know, like, maybe I'll be a cop or something. Like it's not like they don't really have a motivation, but like to support their country in that way. That, like, there's a lot of different reasons to become a cop, and I just don't feel like saying all cops are bad is the right way to like say that, because that's the same problem we have, like, with the cops. The cops are thinking, oh, all black people are bad. It's like, no, we're not, and like you don't want to have the same problem on both sides. Like, it's hypocritical to say all cops are bad, in my opinion. I just don't see that.
Okay, I have two things. So I was on Twitter earlier and I saw a video of protesters basically surrounding the Minneapolis mayor, and they were asking him questions. They were like a yes or no question. Will you agree to like abolishing the police from Minneapolis? And then he said, I can't support that. And everyone got like super mad and were yelling at him. And they were like, yeah, we know you're up for re-election next year. Like, this is going to look terrible for you. But I also don't know if as a mayor he can say he's going to just get rid of the
with the police.
Yeah, that's
like
that's
funding
not
the
reasonable.
police is one thing, but I don't think you can just say, okay, no more police.
That's not. Do you know what?
Especially as a mayor.
Yeah.
No, we need law enforcement. Let's be real. Like, the only reason why laws here in America work is because people are willing to enforce them, right?
Yeah.
Like, if we didn't have the agencies and departments in place from the federal down to the local level, we wouldn't.
You gotta
be
love
able
this fucking
to
Zoom, bro. You gotta love Zoom, bro. I hate it here.
There's still gonna be like home break-ins and stuff that people are gonna need help.
Yeah, imagine, bro.
So you can't just say no more police.
What I've been hearing about people saying abolish police is more of like, okay, it's like I said earlier, like the system that's been made to perpetrate these wrongs should be scrapped and made to be better, right?
Yeah.
Like we still, okay, like we said, we need law enforcement, but we also don't want the law enforcement to look at a person and be like, you know, that looks like a criminal because his skin or his accent sounds funny. So let's get him. Like, we don't want that. But like, we also don't want criminals just having their heyday because people are like, no more police, please.
Yeah.
No more police. No,
that's really making that a yes or no question and just putting him on the spot like that in front of hundreds of people. He was like,
whoa.
I don't. Okay, second thing though, like what you also see on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, like TikTok, all that, is like every once in a while you'll see a picture come up or a video come up of police like kneeling with protesters or walking with protesters or like shaking their hands, people giving them hugs. Yeah. And I've seen both sides. Like some people are saying this is great, like this is what the protesters want, is to see that the police are respecting the protesters. And the other side is people being like, this is propaganda, like don't show this. Like what's your opinion?
Dude, if I'd rather see a protest where the police actually support and like help the Black community and like, you know, come forward and understand that they're wrong. I don't see it as propaganda. I see this as like there are legit some police who actually care. Like there are people who think that this is wrong. And like, yeah, like while it might be taken away from like the bad police, like yeah, we don't always have to focus on the bad police. Like let's focus sometimes like on the good police. I don't know.
Me, I've had a mixed feeling because like I can see what people are talking about because there's some where like they would kneel and then soon after they would be firing tear gas at people. For me, the only one I think was actually real, I forgot which one. It was the one in Michigan, right? The one where he walked with them.
Yeah.
I think that was the only
no, it was Wait, was it Minneapolis?
No, it was not Minneapolis. The hell are you talking about? They burned the precinct. They wouldn't walk with them? What? Bro.
No. I'm sorry, the wrong M. Damn, I'm sorry.
No, it was Michigan, right? Or at least it was, I forgot, at least the city, but.
Yeah.
Right? It was there. I can't remember. But the whole point is that like, they were like, we want to walk with you, right? And then they actually walked with them, right? And I feel so that was the only one that like actually was like, I think, I hope sincere, because I didn't hear anything about what they did afterwards, but like he didn't have any of his gear on. He was literally there around the protesters. Like he took off his gear in front of them, walked with them after, and it was fine. I feel so that's the only one that was actually genuine. So like my real hope is that like we can discern between the ones that are real and the ones that are clearly just them trying to.
I feel like the other ones aren't fake. I feel like there's just like there's different orders. Like you can have a chief of police like carry out one order and like say, hey, I want to kneel with these guys. I want to show that I respect them. And then you can have another police officer who like might be like the head of chief and like give a different order and say, nah, I don't want to kneel. We're gonna tear gas him. And the chief of police can be just as confused as a protester, like, this is not what I wanted. I wanted to stand with them. So there might be some genuine police like in that squadron, but some of them just like they go by different orders. Like it doesn't. It kind of sucks that like they don't really work in the same way.
Always, I feel like we just want to see something actually genuine instead of just this fake ass like, yo, we kneeled for like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
See, we support you.
Yeah.
Now let me get out my gun. Start shooting.
Yeah, I mean, being in Boston at the protests on the 31st, there's going to be another one in a couple days, but when I went that day, we were in front of the State House. There were some people marching from like Nubian Square, but we were standing outside the State House, and there's a gate, and then there were state troopers like beyond the gates in front of the State House with like dogs and stuff and guns and all that great stuff. And the protesters were basically like, we were kind of minding our own business, like not really directed at the state troopers for most of the time until maybe about like 8 o'clock when things were starting to get a little like, you didn't want to be there too much longer because you knew people were going to start coming in for the wrong reasons. But around 8 o'clock, people kind of started to turn towards the state troopers, and they were like, because everyone took a knee, and they were like, hey, take a knee with us, and like chanting at the police officers, asking them to just take a knee because it shows respect. Like it's a slight action they could do to just show a little bit of respect. And they didn't do it, and people saw that they were just on their phones, and everyone was just getting super upset, and it was making just like a very chaotic environment. But I'd rather see police officers be respectful and show acts of solidarity, but I don't think they necessarily need to be like in the media showing that.
Yeah, I feel like they should at least try. Like there should be some of them. I feel like some of them really still support. Like they try to back each other up, of course, and they don't want to give in to this whole some of our police officers are corrupt. Some of them are corrupt, and
oh yeah, it's hard too. And it's like I can imagine it'd be the same thing with like if a bunch of like bros, just like a bunch of guy friends were like just having fun, and then one of their friends is revealed to be a prick who harasses women and all these things, right? It's not hard to see guys quickly find themselves in this weird middle ground between I'm supposed to deny this, but at the same time, he's my friend.
That's a very good analogy.
Like, yeah, like I'm not trying to excuse it because like it's still at the end of the day, you're supposed to say like, no, that's wrong. You're not supposed to do that, right? That's like you're supposed to be a better friend. But like I can understand in the sense of if you're a police officer and you're in your unit and you know these people, right? Like it's not so for act as if they don't know each other. They work together. They know each other, right?
Yeah.
And like someone who you don't know is telling you they're a bad person. Which side are you gonna pick, honestly? Like
you stick with your squadron. You
stick with your squad, and it's like it sucks that it's like that, but like that's how they make their system work even better. Because like I wouldn't want to work with someone who I can't have my back on the field at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, teamwork makes the dream work, and you guys are great as a team, bro. They get away with anything. It's not.
I mean, the system doesn't fail those it wasn't made to protect. Just saying.
Just saying. Man, speaking so he's spitting. He really spitting, bro.
I'm just saying. I could give you so many quotes. Some that I've known, some that I've learned. But like honestly, the thing that if we're gonna have like final points, because this is about to end soon. Like my takeaway from all of this is America is a country of ironies, especially on the conservative side.
Absolutely.
Like I just find them all funny. Personally, not funny in like a ha humor, funny as in like that's ironic, wow, that's funny. You guys really do believe that. So there, I love this country. Love America. I love America.
Just gotta seal it off with that.
Yes, you gotta hit him with the
FBI agents in your computer aren't like
FBI agents are so proud. They're proud or upset. You can't do that hand signal. What are you doing? I guess any other final points before we close down the podcast, or before Zoom closes down the podcast?
Fuck racism.
Yeah, honestly, bro. Fuck racism.
Fuck racism. It sucks. It's stupid. It doesn't make any sense.
And stop shooting people with rubber bullets. They're not nice bullets. They still like.
They still.
Those are fat bullets. I saw a picture of one. It's like a fat bullet. It's not like it's huge.
And they're being shot at people's faces.
At like high velocity, no less.
Yeah.
Hold on, we don't have time for this. Okay, so this has been 2 Minute Quarantine with guest Morgo. Thank y'all for tuning in. Hit a like, subscribe, watch the full thing. It's a shorter one. Take it easy, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.